Hello guys, so welcome back to Opportunity Home. We are here to talk about visiting visa. Yes, or let me say visitors visa. Yeah. We are going to talk about how to use visitor visa, and then in this video we are going to know whether we can use a visitor's visa to work in Canada or not. And if you can work with a visitor's visa in Canada, how to change from a visitor's visa to a working visa or working permit in Canada. We are going to talk about all these things in this video. So be patient and then watch this video to the end so that you can get an important message from this video. Yeah, so the reason why I'm doing this video is looking at the questions or the how people are reaching out or the kind of questions they are asking me. It's like they are eager to know whether they can work with a visitor's visa when they get to Canada. And then most of them are already in Canada and then they can't work. And when I ask them, all they tell me is that's what the agent told them, that there's a work and pay in Canada and this and this and that. Before I start with this, please, there's no work and pay in Canada. You can never work and pay in Canada. No, that doesn't work in Canada. So if an agent is telling you there's a work and pay in Canada, please take it from me. It doesn't work that way. And also, you can never work with a visitor's visa in Canada. It also doesn't work. But then, if you want to change from a visitor's visa to a working permit, there is a way, but it is not guaranteed. That is what you should put in mind. Working in Canada with a visitor's visa doesn't exist. And then changing from visitor's visa to working permit, there's a pathway or there's a way to change it, but it is not guaranteed. It is not 100% assured. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you how to change from working permit, visitor visa to a working permit. I'll talk about all those things in this video. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share for others also come and watch. Like the video and then put all questions or any comment that you have in the comment section. And then let's keep the channel moving. All right. So I'm going to talk about how to change from visitor visa to a working permit. Before I do that, as I already said, you can't work in Canada with a visitor visa. And then one thing I want you people to know is when you get your visitor visa, don't be in a rush to go to Canada. Especially for those who don't have relatives or don't have any friends in Canada and then you are yet to go there. Don't rush after getting the visitor visa. The reason I'm telling you not to rush is life in Canada is different from life in Africa. Just put that in mind. In Africa, sometimes you don't have money and then you can go to a family member or someone can cook and then invite you to eat. But in Canada, everyone is busy working. Not that they don't want to give you food or something, but everyone is busy working. So no one is going to get time to assist you in so many things. Changing from visitor's visa to a working permit is a whole process on its own. So no one, just a few people will get time to assist you to do all these things by like help you get all these things. So one thing that I want to advise you on is when you get your visitor's visa or before you embark on a trip to Canada, make sure you are fully prepared. Prepare very well or prepare enough. If someone may ask, how should I prepare or like, the thing is, when you get your visitor's visa, you should know that normally they don't give like 2 months, 3 months on your passport or let me say on the visa. For what I've seen, they'll give you up to when your passport expires. They give the duration up to when the passport expires. So let's say you have a passport that expires in 10 years. Normally, they give you a 10-year visa. But it doesn't mean you can stay in Canada for 10 years continuously. The maximum number of days or months you can stay there is 6 months. So visas for visitors may be granted for up to 6 months stay in Canada. You might get a visa that will expire in, let's say, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years or more. But what you should put in mind is you can only live there legally for just 6 months. When you exceed 6 months, you are considered as an illegal immigrant. So let's take note of that one. Someone is in Ghana and the person is doing good more than someone who is in Canada. That is what you should know. I'm not telling you not to go. You can go, but make sure you prepare very well. Mentally, read my lips, mentally, physically, and then financially. The financial is very important because I'll not say only Canada. In Europe, even in Europe, people barely give out money, like giving someone money, like in Ghana, someone can say and say, "Oh, take this 10 Ghana." In abroad, let me say abroad. When you come abroad, it doesn't work that way. It will be very difficult for someone to give you money that take this and then buy this. It doesn't work that way. So when you're coming, you have to prepare very well before you come. That's why I said financially, mentally, physically, and everything. Lily, any preparation you have, just prepare very well. Fast forward, let's move on to how you can work or transition from visitor visa to a working permit. When you're a visitor visa, you can't work in Canada. That's one thing you should know. The reason why you can't work is before you work or before an employer employs you to a company, you have to get a SIN number. That's a tax number. And this tax number is what they use to pay taxes to the government. So before they pay you, before you get your salary, they've already deducted your tax and paid to the government. So before you get a job in Canada, you should have a SIN number. This SIN number is very important. You can never go away with this SIN number. Things you need to work in Canada: the SIN number, the bank account. And bank account, sometimes you get check. Yes, it depends on the company. There are some companies who will be able to give you checks and other stuff, but normally everyone pays through bank. The bank account, the SIN number, and yeah, I think these are the two major things that you can't go away with before you can work in Canada. You should need that SIN number. The SIN number is very important because you can't come and work in Canada without paying taxes. Even when you are caught, you are going to be in hot waters. Yeah, people were paying taxes before you came. When you come, you have to do well to pay taxes. That is why you can never work on a visa. And then when you're going to apply for the SIN number, and then they ask you that where is your visa, they have to check whether you are on a student visa or you have your permanent residence or like those stuff. If you don't have a student visa or a visa that can let you work in Canada, and then you are having a visitor visa, they'll never give you the SIN number. That's why it's very difficult for you to get a SIN number when you get to Canada. When you are on visitor visa and you want to work in Canada, when you get there, you have to search for a job that has LMIA. When you talk of LMIA, you are talking about the Labor Market Impact Assessment. Before you can work in Canada on a visitor visa, you need a job with LMIA, and then this LMIA is let me say it's a certificate that an employer needs to be able to employ people from outside Ghana, or let me say foreigners. So without this LMIA, no, not all companies in Canada has this LMIA. The LMIA is not with all the employers in Canada. There are some companies that can actually do that, and then there are some companies that cannot employ people without the LMIA. So know the difference. Some will be like, I've been searching for jobs and no one is willing to help me to get my working permit. It's because there are some of the companies that do not have LMIA. A company like Cisco, yes, I know a company like Cisco, they have LMIA, but not all Cisco companies. It depends on where it is. I know of a Cisco that is in St. John's in New Brunswick. They have LMIA, but Cisco in Moncton don't have LMIA. They are now applying to get LMIA. So you have to check all these things before you can change from a visitor's visa to a working permit. And you have to do all these things before 6 months, because after 6 months, if you are not able to transition from visitor visa to working permit, you can't stay in Canada for more than 6 months. So you have to come back and then go again and then start that process. So anything that you do, you have to be very fast. You have to know. That's why I say you have to plan before you go to Canada. So yes, there's a way you can change from visitor visa to working permit, but it's not easy. It's not that easy as we know, because actually, how many companies have this LMIA? So this is the kind of certificate or document a company needs to be able to bring employers, to be able to bring workers outside Canada, let me say foreigners, to come in and work in their company. And I gave an example like Cisco. Cisco is one of the companies that has this LMIA, and not all Ciscos, you should put that in mind, not all Ciscos. Cisco in St. John's is what I know. That's what I'm saying. Those in St. John's, the Cisco in St. John's has this LMIA. So if you are already in Canada and then you want a job to help you get this, you can try Cisco. I'm just giving you, an option to try. So when you are in Canada, you can try going to Cisco, that is New Brunswick, and then try. Cisco is all over Canada, but I'm talking about what I know. Yes, don't get me wrong. And also, I don't know, we have different companies that helps, and there's a company like I think Tim Hortons also has. I don't know. I'm yet to be corrected, but I think Tim Hortons, yes, because I know people who complete school and find it very difficult to get their documents in Canada, and then with the help of Tim Hortons, they are able to, process their documents and other stuff. Yeah, so you have to just act smart. And one way to also get a transition from visitor visa to a working permit is, for me, my advice for you is, before you go to Canada, if you can, learn how to drive trucks, and or like just learn something about trucks before you go. Because when you get there, you can find your way and then be enrolled in a truck driving school, learn and then get a certificate. They need more truck drivers in Canada, so you can also use that channel to get a work with LMI. You can. It's very difficult to get a working permit without the help of a company having LMI. That's one way you can transition from visa to a working permit. We have different way, and also you can use this Asylum. But the Asylum, I don't advise people to go for Asylum. Asylum should be the least thing you should do, because Asylum has its own merit and disadvantages. Yes, one thing is, when let's say you are applying for asylum, and then you tell the immigration officer, or you tell the Canadian immigration officer that there's a fight in your home country, or like there's something in your home country that they need, like let's say there's a war and they are killing people, or they want to kill you because of some family dispute and other stuff. After saying that, just put in mind that before you go back to your home country, you can't go straight, because let's say you go to Ghana, and then when you go to Ghana, you get the stamp of the immigration in Ghana, and you come back. They can check in your files and see that, no, you came as an immigrant, and you told them that there's a fight in your home country, so you can't go. They want to kill you. So how come you are able to go to Ghana after getting your permanent residence in Canada? They might even deport you. So be very, very careful how you go about things. Yes, I don't know if you can later tell them that they've settled all this fight before you can be granted. But I know of Spain. In Spain, when you seek for asylum and then you get your documents, later when you want to go to Ghana, you can go to them and tell them that, oh, they've settled the fight in your home country or in the family, so you can now go. They'll process it and then give you a legal document that can let you go and then come without any problem. Yeah, so you should know all those things before you go. Make researches. Don't just stand up and then go. Yeah, there are more to this. Yeah, so that's one thing you should know. That's why I'm telling you to prepare physically, mentally, and financially. I'm hating on the financial because with money you can do everything. With money you can be happy when you're in Canada. That's why I'm saying this. And I don't know. I can't say all these things here right now. Yeah, so this is the few I have for you guys. If you think I've educated you enough, please put a comment there just to cheer me up, and then share for others to also come in and watch. Do well to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to like the video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.